Hi friends, I'm Jen and I am a 26-year-old self-employed artist and I just made my own coloring book. It is a spooky/fall themed coloring book and it's something that I wanted to accomplish this year and it actually was one of my yearly goals. It's currently available for pre-order on my website now until September 21st, so if you'd like to get your copy early and also get a few extra goodies with your order, you can head over to my shop and check it out. I've been working on this project for about 2 months now and it's finally here and ready and I'm so excited to share the process on how I brought it to life. So let's just get right into it. This coloring book isn't the first coloring book that I've created. In fact, this is actually my fourth. Back in early 2021, before I even started sharing my art online, I made my first coloring book, which was farm animal themed. It was self-published through Amazon, and I just really enjoyed making it and was very excited to share it with others. Not too long after that, I made a second one. This one was a jungle animals themed, and again I put it on Amazon for others to purchase and to look at. Around December of the same year, 2021, I did it a third time and made my Christmas-themed coloring book. At the time of making these, I found that with each book, my style and my skills were getting better and becoming more developed. I was still very early with my art career journey, so these books didn't get a whole lot of attention or traction, but I still was just really enjoying making them and the process to create them. And I liked having them as a visual representation of my art progression. However, I decided to stop talking about them and stop sharing them. It wasn't because I wasn't proud of them, it was just that I felt that they no longer represented me as an artist, and I wanted to create and share work that feels like me. So, after almost 2 years, I've decided that I wanted to give coloring books another go, and so I set the goal for myself at the start of this year to create a new coloring book. And I felt like a fall-themed one would be a fun place to restart my coloring book journey. Similarly, with everything that I create, I always start with a list. For this coloring book, I wasn't sure what I wanted the main idea to be, so I made a list of topics that I liked and that I also thought would be something that others would find interesting. From this list, I decided that a spooky fall theme was what I wanted to do. So I made a second list, and this list was of ideas and concepts for the individual pages that would be in the coloring book. Most of these ideas were of activities or things they can do during the fall months. These were things like apple picking or visiting a pumpkin patch. When I had a list of over 20 ideas, I started to do the rough sketches, and I drew them in pencil in one of my many sketchbooks that I have. The purpose of these sketches was to get the ideas I had in my head onto paper. These weren't necessarily how the final pages would look like, but it was a good place to start to get the general idea and the composition and details for each page. This process of the rough sketches took me about a week to do, and I used Pinterest often to get some ideas and reference photos. In the end, I had made about 18 rough sketches. With my rough sketches, I then moved on to creating the digital sketches on my iPad. I use Procreate to do this, and I use a 6B pencil brush as I always do with all of my sketching. And before beginning the digital sketches, I actually made sure that I had the correct dimensions for the final pages because I wanted to make sure that I had the correct scaling and size for everything, and I wanted to make sure that everything would turn out just as I expected to. During this stage, I took my rough sketches from my sketchbook and turned them into much more detailed and developed sketches. I moved things around, added details, and finalized my ideas here digitally. And for this coloring book, I decided on having 3 recurring characters, so I also made sure that their details were consistent throughout the pages while I was doing the sketches. Completing the final digital sketches for all the pages took me about a week and a half, and I would say that this was the most tedious, time-consuming part of the whole process. I always love creating the artwork for all my work, but this time it was definitely becoming quite tiring, especially towards the end. Making the final sketches was actually a really quick process for me because I was essentially just tracing my sketches. So at this point, I was very glad that I had already done the bulk work and the hard part earlier. During this time, I also made the inner and outer cover designs. And for the front outer cover, I went with the big pumpkin page from the book, and I decided just to color it in and use it as my cover. For the back, I wanted to keep it simple, so I just added the 3 characters on here. And for the inner covers, I also wanted to keep it simple, and so I made a few small little doodles of elements that are from the book. These were things like little coffee mugs, some leaves, and books, and I just scattered them around across both inner covers. After about a week of completing the finishing details for my coloring book, I was finally ready to send it off to the printers. Uploading and correctly arranging all the elements of the page and double checking everything on my manufacturer's website was a little tricky since this was my first time using them. But after some back and forth, I finally had submitted my order, and then began the time for me to anxiously and excitedly wait for my package to arrive. While I waited for my books to be printed, put together, and ultimately shipped to me, there was so much to do, like making the freebie stickers. I wanted to create 2 stickers that went together with the book, and I decided on including 2 free stickers for anyone who pre-orders the book. The first one matches the cover of the book, and it's the big pumpkin with the bear, the cow, and the frog. This one I made myself at home with my printer and Cricut, and I just love it so much, and I think it turned out super cute. The second sticker, however, is my favorite. It's my first ever holographic sticker, and it's of the cow driving a little pumpkin car. I just really love how this one turned out, and I'm now really thinking about making more holographic stickers in the future for my shop. Also, I'd like to add that these stickers will be available for purchase on my shop as well, in case you were interested in just getting those or if you miss out on the pre-orders. After a couple of hard-working months, I am now so excited to share my coloring book. It has just arrived, and I wanted to unbox it here and show you them fresh out of the box. This is an 8x10-inch landscape book with 18 full fall and Halloween themed coloring pages, plus a color swatch page and a This Belongs To page where you can put your name. It is single-sided and printed on 100-pound paper so that you can use markers and not worry about any bleed-through. As I've mentioned already, this book is currently available for pre-order on my shop, and again, as a special treat for those who reserve their copy by September 21st, I'm including the 2 free stickers with your purchase. So I will leave the link below if that is something that you're interested in checking out. I'd also like to note that international shipping costs are quite high. In many cases, if not most cases, for international shipping, the fees are just as much or even more than the price of the book itself. Unfortunately, these fees are not set by me and are completely out of my control. So, as an alternative to those that are still interested in the coloring pages, I will be offering a few coloring pages as digital downloads on my website once the book is officially launched. So if that's something you're interested in, I will provide more details as the time comes. But all in all, I am still very excited to share my work, and I'm really looking forward to seeing my art enter your homes, and I would especially love to see how everyone colors in their coloring pages. This week, I will be putting together the last few things for my coloring book drop, as well as a spooky fall collection of stickers, sticker sheets, and a few magnetic bookmarks for my shop. There are so many fun things coming soon, and so until then, I hope that you will have an amazing week ahead of you. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for making it to the end. It really means so much to me, and I really appreciate it.